When should I quit my job and go full-time in the house cleaning business? I love that question, and we're going to talk about that today. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, today's show is brought to us by mycleaningconnection.com, which is a resource hub for all things cleaning. And on there is a section on how to start your own house cleaning business if you're thinking about making the gap from a full-time job over to a house cleaning business. All right, so today's question comes from a person who is thinking about switching from their full-time job to a house cleaning business as a business owner, and they want to know, when do I know it's time to make that jump? Okay, this is an excellent question, and for me, my answer would be, it's the next natural step. Here's how that works. There are things in our lives that happen, and they happen organically with or without us. We can force things to happen, but things will happen almost to us if we get out of our own way. Now, for example, when you're hungry, how do you know when it's time for you to get something to eat? Well, there's a series of things that happen. Your stomach starts to growl. Maybe it's a certain time of the day, and you know that it's been X amount of hours since you've last eaten something. Maybe your blood sugar levels start to dip. So there are signs. There are signs external, and there are signs from inside you that will say, hey, it's time for you to stop and go get something to eat. Now, if you pay attention to those signs, you'll say, hey, it's lunchtime or it's dinner time, and you will go and you will make something to eat and you will solve that problem. The same is true for the house cleaning business. There will be signs. And so if you're thinking about getting into the house cleaning business, or maybe you've been cleaning part-time and you still have a full-time job, there will be signs. Just like your stomach starts to growl. Inside your company, it might be internal grumblings. It might be grumblings from your boss or from coworkers, or maybe the hours are not conducive to your schedule anymore. There are reasons that people switch and go full-time in the house cleaning business, and one of the biggest reasons is flexibility of scheduling. For example, I know lots and lots and lots of actors that are also house cleaners because they need the flexibility of scheduling so they can take off work and go do auditions, or so that they can go be on set, on a TV set or a movie set for a couple days or a couple of weeks, and then come back to their regular house cleaning jobs. There are also people that are like nurses and airport ramp agents and stuff like that that have other jobs that offer benefits, and they work those jobs either full-time or part-time, and then they do house cleaning on the side as an extra way of earning income. Waiters in restaurants, for example, are a perfect opportunity for house cleaners because they work in the restaurants in the evening waiting tables, and then they clean houses during the days. So there are a lot of different service industries that are conducive to a house cleaning business on the side. Now, the interesting question is, when do you go full-time? When you go full-time is when a whole bunch of things start to happen that fall into place, and it's the next natural step. For example, if you've ever fallen in love, you're dating and you're charmed by whomever it is that has your eye, and you find yourself, primping a little bit and trying to dress up fancy, and maybe you pick out a special handbag or a special set of shoes or a special set of clothes, and maybe you color your hair, or you get a new hairstyle, or you do something to kind of upgrade your look a little bit. And then as you start dating this person, you find the relationship evolving. And then it becomes the next natural step, either to move in together or to get married or to solidify the deal. And when it becomes natural, it's exciting, it's fun, it seems doable, it seems possible. And the possibility sparks you, it sets a light on fire, and it makes you want to participate. It's the same in the house cleaning business. When you wake up one day and it just seems so obvious, this is, of course, the next thing I'm supposed to do. It's just the next natural step. That is when it's time for you to go into the house cleaning business. If you wake up and you decide that you have to do this for some reason, and you're kicking and screaming and everything is falling apart and it's not working out, and you just feel stumped and you're confused, you don't know how it's even a possibility, it's probably not the right time for you. And the reason I say that is things are not organically falling into place. Now, if you are studying business and you decide that you want to be a business owner, and this is a business opportunity where you're not going to actually do the cleaning yourself, but you're going to hire a team of people, okay, so that's a whole different set of experiences, because it's not going to happen naturally, but your information will bring you to a natural conclusion. And so as you start to analyze and you start to do some research and you start to figure out, well, if I do this, here's what happens. And if I do this, here's what happens. So what happens is you start putting yourself inside situations where answers will come to you. And as you put yourself inside situations and you start meeting the right people and the right ideas start coming to you, it becomes a possibility. In your mind, you start figuring out, oh, that's where I'm going to get the money for the down payment to buy this franchise. Or that is where I'm going to get the money to hire these people. Or this is the training program I'm going to instill in all of the new employees that I'm about to hire. And it just seems suddenly doable. If it's not doable and it seems really confusing, and maybe you go a couple of days and you just can't make yourself do it and it's all procrastination, it's not the right time. But if you wake up one day and it just seems like, well, of course, a house cleaning business, of course. And yes, I should go full time. The full time usually happens when you start out part-time. Most house cleaners start out part-time. And as they start building their client base, they get referrals. And as the referrals start coming in and they start booking out other days, then it starts to become a full schedule. When it becomes a full schedule and you start replacing that 9-to-5 job income, it becomes a natural mix for you just to switch one to the other. And so then what you have to consider is I have the health benefits and all this stuff over here with the job. Over here, I got to pay for it on my own. And so you have to weigh and measure those pros and cons. And when it becomes more pros than cons, that's when you switch and you go full time. Anyway, I hope that helps a little bit, but pay attention, just like with the eating, pay attention to the natural next step. What are the signs around you telling you? Does it seem like an easy and effortless move? And if it does, it's probably the right time. Alrighty, that's my 2 cents for today. And until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.